Star Wars. You and your children loved it. Now the Earthlings at Kenner have asked my associate and me to present the Star Wars collection. Truly remarkable toys and games for your children. What are you so excited about now?
Star Wars figures. R2-D2. Chewbacca, Luke, and Princess Leia. They're the Star Wars early bird set of figures. These action figures are not yet available.
Kenner Star Wars figures hit stores, finally, in early 1978. But a question a lot of fans have asked, who was the first person to get their hands on a set of Star Wars action figures? If you think about the answer to that question, you probably think the first Kenner figures were given to George Lucas, or the cast of Star Wars. It is true that the main cast got shipped action figures, as Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher have talked about getting action figures. Harrison Ford probably got some also, but knowing Harrison Ford, he probably didn't want them, and they're still sitting in a box somewhere unopened. But these figures that came to the stars of Star Wars didn't arrive until the figures were being mass-produced and shipping to stores. For the answer to who was the first person to get a set of Star Wars figures, we have to go back to 1977. As the empty early bird Star Wars package was hitting stores, an early set of those early bird figures made its way to someone not part of the Star Wars production or cast. In 1977, Bernard Loomis was the president of Kenner, who was excited about Star Wars since he read about the film in The Hollywood Reporter. After signing the deal with Lucas on the rights for Star Wars toys, work went into overdrive to get toys in the stores as fast as possible. But Kenner knew there was no way they could get action figures out in 1977. So it was Loomis who came up with the plan for an empty Star Wars box with a promise for kids to get a set of 4 Star Wars action figures in early 1978. In November of 1977, Loomis was in Monte Carlo for a Monopoly tournament. At a nearby hotel was a meeting for the 20th Century Fox board director. Never one to miss up an opportunity, Loomis headed next door to talk with the Fox directors and to show off the upcoming Star Wars figures. I told him that I had the very first early production set of figures and I was going to draw one of their names and give it to that person as a gift. Loomis told Steven Sansweet for the book Star Wars, From Concept to Screen to Collectible. Loomis let Sansweet in on a little secret. The drawing was rigged. He knew who would get the first set of Star Wars figures. It was by far the most famous of the Fox board of directors. And Loomis added, the most beautiful. It seemed fitting to Loomis that the first Princess Leia action figure should go to a queen.
Miss Torso, the body beautiful. That is, viewed from a safe distance.
Queen Grace of Monaco, who was best known as the screen legend Grace Kelly.
And you won't be able to take your eyes off the glowing beauty of Grace Kelly, who shares the heart and curiosity of James Stewart.
Before marrying Prince Reinhard III in 1956, Grace Kelly was already the star of films that would go on to be movie classics, such as High Noon, Dial M for Murder, Rear Window, To Catch a Thief, just to name a few. After winning the set of 4 action figures, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, and R2-D2, Grace Kelly told Loomis that she would be very popular at her house that night, as she had 3 children. Sadly, in 1982, Grace Kelly was driving back from Monaco when she suffered a stroke, caused her to lose control of her vehicle and drive off a 120-foot mountainside. She passed away the following night after being removed from life support. Grace Kelly might have had the first 4 Star Wars figures made, but over the next 8 years of Kenner's Star Wars run, close to 250 million Star Wars figures will be bought up by Star Wars fans. And that's an answer to the question, who got the first set of Star Wars action figures? And it opens up a new question. Where are those figures today? I want to thank you for watching. As always, please subscribe to the channel. Thumb up so I know you like my content, and we'll talk again.
Kenner's new Star Wars Death Star Space Station. Action figures each sold separately.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.